What up, everyone? Uh, it's just been a bored day. Long and energetic day. Boy. Especially when you have your two of your nieces there. Oh boy. Especially one is a toddler. you have no idea how much energy she has. I mean, a toddler for age of 4. Oh boy. Has a lot of energy for one kid. What is this? Two of them out of all 5. And my life would have been like, nope. And having the summer heat still going on, and yeah, that's just one of the things that's just make this summer a lot of fun. Peachy peachy. And yesterday on the Geisha stream, well, say it went not according to plan. Since we were originally worked to do this video games, but Malachi was apparently out shopping with with his mom, and which I wasn't aware of. And so it was only Game Guy and Roy was playing. So we decided to just do what was scripted. But Game Guy, he was, well, really tired. So,
Because I had an exact amount of 4 hours of sleep last night. That's why
and
I was
yeah,
so tired.
look. Yeah, look. Who is on the comments? Oh, yeah, it's so hot here in West Virginia. Packers fan.
Oh yay, my favorite person. Oh, by
Packers,
the
if you want to,
yeah,
Packers, if you want to
sorry,
join in,
sorry guys,
I
I'm
put the
okay.
link there. Yeah, I actually heard a lot of things about West Virginia, about cryptids. They're especially supposed to be one of their own Bigfoot called Yahoo, which surprising enough. So yeah, so basically what happened yesterday is Game Guy was just really tired. Um yeah, so another reason also another reason that Malachi didn't join in is because his family dog uh recently passed away. So, and that's just it's it's not a good thing when that happens. It When it happens, it sometimes just happens unexpectedly. Losing a family pet, it's not it's not a pleasant happening though. I mean, I lost a few pets over myself over the years, but one of the most that I really treasured, valued most was a pet rat. I mean, she was unlike any pet rat I had before or since. I mean, if I was in the living room and she was in the hallway, or if I was in the hallway and she was in the living room, I just could tap on the floor and call her name, and she just came actually. And one time, okay, I wasn't actually at home at the time, but my mom, she had actually told of my pet rat to some people that she know. They came over and they were actually eager to see this rat, and she told them that the rat was actually on the floor. Here's the thing: despite that we had cables around the floor, she never shoot. She wasn't even biting any of those cables at all. Normally, rats has this urge to bite any object they can come across, but she never did. But since people were sitting there talking about it, they the man he felt something was tugging on his pants, and well, who was it? And it was my pet rat who crawled up on this man's leg and all the way to his shoulders. And he wasn't scared or anything. He just were surprised. And she was actually a very tamed pet. It's it sucks when she just passed away. She wasn't more around 3 years old. they don't live in more than like 3 years. But I heard that some pet rats can live, some type of rat can live for more than 5 years. 6 years. Uh, I mean, my family had a lot of, but mostly my family had cats, rabbits, guinea pigs, and rabbits as of pets mostly. We did have one cat, but let's say we call her Psycho because that was she were like. Because one time friends came over, she literally just jumped on his leg, started clawing him and all that. It's like attacking him for no reason. He was not even provoking this cat whatsoever. We had to get rid of her eventually. Then my parents bought a dog, um, a type of poodle. Not like those French poodles you just see like in for more. This was more like a black colored type of poodle, and the thing is, we didn't keep her for any term. We had her for maybe less than a year or so, and turned out she had some form of cancer, and she didn't make it. And when we really find out, well, my parents out that the breeder had documents and was actually fully aware of the poodle actually had cancer, but never informed us. And we didn't even had those documentations on that either. Which is, I don't know if that's by law you actually had been given all the documentations and been even informing the new owners of any potentials, sickness of her or the dog's health. And when the dog had to be put down, I tell you this, my mom was not happy. She was crying. She actually loved the dog. But then my parents bought our new dog, not a dog, a husky mixed with powder puff. She was very energetic, especially in the winter. Like, I mean, she loved every time she saw snow. If she out on a leash and she just saw snow, boom, she just took off, no matter what she would. And we actually had her in our with our current dog. They work well together, no problem at all. But this husky started biting our current dog, and while biting in the ears and start bleeding. It's so we had to get rid of her. But my dad's aunt, the sister, or at least one of them, actually took her in, which was a positive thing though. When that happens, it just happens. But having a dog and from another private person, owner, and indeed don't inform us or informing the new owners about any of the dog's, health, or if there's any health issues or whatsoever, it's it is a really wrong. Us doesn't inform the new owners of this if this dog have any particular health issues or something. It's really, I mean, but if they don't inform the owners of any potential of any health problems at all, it's like, and especially if they're buying a family dog, like for example, if Game Guy's family would buy uh, a gold retriever and he was young and his parents and all of it, some of his brothers are still young and then his parents buy a golden retriever or even German Shepherd, and suddenly and his game guy is, let's say he's like in maybe he's say 15 or 16 when he start high school, and he's very attached to the family dog, would have been through there for many years, and still in his early young age. If the dog is like still 5 or 6 years old, and suddenly they had been, or let's see if they bought the dog when the dog is like just only maybe just 1 or 2 years old or something like that, and and game guy immediately attached to the dog as a friend against his brothers, and when he's like between 16 or 17, and then you find out the dog is sick, really sick, and that it turned out they were that his parents was not aware that this dog had some very bad health conditions, and that it was available to save the dog by surgery, but it will be quite expensive, and and he had to put the dog down. Otherwise, is having someone within a family, like if there's one of the children in the family, very attached to his family pets so well, and not only as a pet, but as a like a best friend, and have been growing up together for a few years, even if it's only for 2 or 3 years, and then finding out, and as later on, the parent that began to learn that the previous owner was completely aware that the dog had some health issues and never informed because never wanted to do that. And even there was had documentations only that the dog had some problems with his health, which could have been an issue later on in his life, and never even revealed, and perhaps destroyed, or destroyed, or throw those documentations away, so the new owners would not even be aware of this. I would not. I would not have been if that was my family. Like, well, it kind of did happen though, but my mom was attached to our family dog when we had it, and if that happened to someone else like Kyle or Game Guy's family, I don't know what they will react or how they will felt, especially if they're a dog that they have been known for only a few years or their entire life, and just I mean, Game Guy, your family has a dog, but who would you consider say the dog is most closest to?
Mom for sure.
Hmm?
Our mom for sure. Basically, his whole life with her.
Hmm. Yeah, because our dog that we have, it was actually most supposed to be my mom's dog, but the dog preferred mostly my dad, which is a little bit weird. But yeah, having a pet that's close to someone like that, it's and and learning that the dog has some problems, and even it's a possibility that it could be saved by from surgery, and but then learning that your family's insurance of the dog doesn't even cover any of the surgery or anything. If they say that it will cost, I don't say 20 or $25,000 for this operation, and that you think, oh, if your parents like, oh, by the way, the insurance will cover this, but when the veterinarian tells your parents like, nope, unfortunately the insurance doesn't cover the surgery at all, and they want to ask how much it would cost. If it costs from, I'll say, from if it's between $10,000 or $20,000 or more, it depends, of course, what type of surgery is going to be needed, and if they think like there's way too much money, and they rather have it to put it down rather than being suffering. Which I think is the first second option is to put it down if they didn't afford it. Even the dog had a good chance to survive. Yeah, unfortunately that happens. Sometimes even though you have a lot of insurance of your pet, if there's a cat, a dog, and sometimes you may want to go to see a veterinarian to see where it was going to be fixed or if the insurance has been covered. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't cover the entire bill, but most of them. If let's say if it was say if the bill is like 10,000 and it is covered by insurance, but maybe not entirely, but maybe say it's covered perhaps eight and a half, and the rest of the money that your parents would have been able to pay off. But otherwise, sometimes medical insurance doesn't sometimes doesn't cover a pet, an animal's surgery or even a person's surgery. It depends, of course, what is about. I mean, if I was coming over to the US and if I was in a quite serious problem or in a serious accident, my insurance would not probably would even cover in there. It depends on what has happened or if I even have an insurance. I have no idea. uh, you know, it's really so strange though because when like Obama when he was a president, he made this Obamacare for millions of Americans that was unable to have any form of insurance. But when Trump became to power, he wanted to have that removed. So that with Obamacare, millions of Americans that were otherwise would not have been covered by any insurers at all. So if that happened, that if with Obamacare just poof, vanished, been removed completely, so then what? I mean, it's just. I mean, one example: if one family, a working class family, where only the father works and only had enough money to pay for maybe um, has only insurance for himself for kind of the work that he works for, but that doesn't, and the same insurance doesn't cover any of the rest of the family members. Like if he's married and has two or three kids, and the insurance doesn't even cover any of the other family members, only him. So if something would happen to his wife or one of his kids, and they had to go to the hospital, and they find out that in fact the father's insurance doesn't cover anyone else, and that they only had Obamacare, which then applied for everyone in the other one in the family, but then later learned that Obamacare had been removed by the president or the former president Trump, and and if that would happen, they would have been covered from. Say if that the mother had been in an accident, and the surgery order that would cost up to is, let's say this maybe $5,000, and the family doesn't even have that type of um, finances to even to pay that. And if they had Obamacare, they would have been taking care of that much. But they later learned that they don't have that anymore, and the family's fathers had a medical insurance, but it's only covered by him, not anything else in the family. That's so very devastating. If this happened to one family, consider what happened to the millions of others of Americans that was very much covered by Obamacare. Obama really wanted to make sure that the families, those families, so that wasn't in had any insurance. He wanted to have to make sure the welfare of his people. But when Trump came to power, he just removed it. Well, it then didn't happen overnight. That it took time for it to just voted of all that stuff. But it's still. So why would they? So why would Trump remove the Obamacare in the first place? Especially there were millions of Americans that was covered, may not have may not have been able to pay for any insurance or any medical bills or anything like it. And if the Obamacare covered that much, or at least maybe say 50 or perhaps even 90% of the family those medical bills, and the family were with those Obamacare been able to pay them off, but when Obamacare just gone, the families were not even able to pay it off, which it's really sucks. I mean, millions of Americans at the time had, or well, still to even today, there are still many American families that's not covered by any. They're struggling for just maintain to being able to pay the medical bills, rent, and all that. It's it's really unexpected that it's it's a hard times, and especially back in 2008 and 2009 when the global finance crisis happened. Millions of people around the world lost their jobs, and a lot of things happened. Not only for myself, a lot of people struggled in order to to put food on the table, been able to just scrap, did anything that was not enough. They there were a lot of people they tried to do everything to being able to pay the bills and all that. It's it's not a it's it was a hard times. Technical difficulties. Wow, well, game guy, you're really bad luck on this one. But yeah, I mean, having living in a family that's before those finance crises happened, you were able to pay the bills, had a good paid job and all that, and then suddenly finance crisis happened, and the economics around the world just went down, crashing, burning, or just went downhill fast. Thousands, millions of people lost their jobs, and thousands others and millions and ones and other millions tried to try their best to maintain the high morale, to keep a high spirit up, try to stay, despite how much they struggle in order to being able to just pay the bills and being able to buy food. It's it's one of the most hard times happened. But then another tragedy happened. COVID. When COVID hit back in late 2019 and early 2000, it's or early to 2020, sorry. Um, that was another struggle. Billions of people suffered from this. It was the future was unclear when COVID happened. We didn't know what the future looked like. What is going to happen? I mean, a lot of people around the world, many countries struggle in order to maintain peace, maintain law and order. It's it looks like it's gonna be. It was almost going to be as an anarchy society if like it's a law and order breakdown and all that. So, oh, get back. Uh, well, when COVID happened, like I said, it was unpredictable what's going to happen. We can't even predict an even a pandemic, world pandemic, A lot of countries, like United States, every single the 50 states went in lockdown. Um, Italy went in a completely entire country lockdown. The only people that was allowed to leave was medical personnel if they were had been, being clear enough. We could get the permission on that special laws. Sweden, we never even had any form of lockdowns, and I don't think most of the Scandinavia or Europe or where I live had any form of lockdowns during COVID. But now, I'm like at least glad. At least now I'm glad that the COVID is basically is no longer considered as a global pandemic, which is a good thing, to be honest. But I know that many people, when the time was when COVID was just at the highest peak, like What's going to happen in the next few months? Like when COVID became officially a global pandemic, there was only one mind. There was only mostly one thought on every single individual in the world's minds. What now? How long is going to last? That we would know. It could have been like weeks, months, years. Who knows? That's about the thing about pandemics. We have no idea how long they can last. I mean, its difficulty. Like, I mean, only a few years before the global pandemic of the COVID, there was another outbreak of Ebola in Africa, and it different. And that is a very that the disease is really dangerous. In fact, Ebola was way more dangerous than COVID. It had much higher mortality rate. I believe it was 50 or 60%, or has I believe it was around between 40 and 60% of cases of Ebola was deadly. Meanwhile, COVID had between 0.2 to 0.3%. So you can understand how much lighter or lower mortality rate. But even despite that, Ebola, which still is an ongoing outbreaks in Africa mostly, it did spread during the latest outbreak. It did spread to Europe, like Spain, Germany, I believe, even to the United States. But only like there were only, I believe, it's in America, it was only 2 or 5 people that had it. It's just really strange, though. Like if you go back to even further back in time, like say um, the Spanish flu. I mean, for example, the Spanish flu when what happened, it's it was one of the worst. I literally say it was the worst pandemic in global history. Well, in at least in modern history, way worse than COVID. COVID that has killed off about say 5 million people, I believe. As far as we know, the Spanish flu killed off between 50 and 100 million people just in 1 or 2 years. But that may not be compared to at least another one, the Black Plague, was even worse. Just in Europe alone, it estimates between 75 and 200 million people die from it. But of Europe alone, a third or half of Europe's population was wiped out by the plague. And it took exactly 150 years for Europe's population to reach the same level number of people as was before the plague. But the plague around the 1300s was not even the first time it happened in Europe. The first time it happened was more than a few hundred years before that, around 500 ADs. I don't know how many people died from that, but it was still a large number of people. I don't know if many people know this though. This actually happened in the modern times in the early 2000s. Actually, I believe 2003 or was it 2004? Someone mailed at least 4 or 5 letters in America, which can uh, I believe it was that. Let's see. Was it back in 2001? Um, when this oh, Cody Dragon is here. Cody, if you want to join in, you can always do that. The link is there. But back in early 2001, someone actually had sent. There was a number of letters. Um, um, well, it's here we go. An article about it. Let's go see here. Someone actually sent it at least about a dozens of letters. I believe no way. I believe it was only a hand. I believe it was around 6 or 5 letters that was sent to a number of different people within the government, and those mails or letters actually contained anthrax. And anthrax is a very deadly. When that happened, 5 people died, 17 injured. But here's the plot twist: the person who did this hasn't even been caught. So the one who made these anthrax attacks in the US back in 2001 hasn't even been identified. That person is still out there. If the person even is still alive, but who knows? There were of course some sus- um, there were some people that was well, a suspect for most part. But I mean, this happened. Um, it actually this particular anthrax attacks happened only a week after World Trade Center attack. It's just so it happened between September 18 to October 12th, 2001. So, but here's the part as the some mostly believes. The one who sent those letters was actually an American born citizen. For a reason, I believe it was something like this American was actually against at the time the American government, the president's rule, all that. I be honest, later I don't know. I was about around. I was still about nine. I was about 9 or 10 years old when that happened, and I wasn't even aware of that until like many years later. It's that it's shocking, and but here's the like, how about anyone get anthrax? Anthrax, well, let's say as this isn't actually a one particular substance that you can't just get it almost anywhere. Anthrax, it's not like you can just go to a local store, hardware store, or even local Walmart to just buying it. You don't make it. It's like anthrax is not part of any normal pesticide for ants or spiders type of poison. Not at all. Anthrax is a lot more deadlier. There's only like 3 labs in the whole world that has anthrax samples. 2 of them that I know of, United States and Russia. But those are only for scientifically purpose, developing a cure, a vaccine, if there would be a new outbreak. And for like the true motive of someone actually sending these letters that contained anthrax to several people in the U.S. government at the time, it's really difficult to say precisely what it is actually truly motive. If this person was against at the time governmental leaders or something or political parties. It's unfortunately it's not known what true motive, and since the person hasn't even been found, I mean it's hard to say if the person even alive anymore, but it's hard to say. Anyways, as Cody said in the private, I liked in the chapter 4 of MLPG5. I'm hoping the next chapter with Hitch ever be shipped with one of the three girls. Um, that's hard to say right now, though, Cody. You know, here's one of those, might, since we know, um, um, what was it? Right. Since now we know that Misty got her cutie mark, and she is no longer going to help Opaline, and that Opaline now is mainly is well, that Misty is now going to be a spy for the main five. Nope, correctly, the main six, because now I do believe that with her helping the main five, now she is the new had made the new main six, and if they would be the new element, the bearers of the elements, yeah, slight problem that the elements were destroyed. They were literally shattered in pieces by Sombra. So it's unlikely they will still be able to be useful. But even if they are, the question is, where are they? And we don't even know exactly how far. I mean, since the elements were part of the Tree of Harmony, and since that tree is in every forest near Ponyville, and we have no idea how far Maritime Bay is even from Ponyville, and if Ponyville isn't even, you know, populated or anything. But one of the most things that actually we know for is that the first official confirmed shipping, which is Queen Haven and Apple Barrel, even though that actually did appear in Tale Your Tale, the web series, at least before the official release of Chapter 4, it's it was really shocking though. And as Cody had once still told me, like hoping that Spike would be appear in a G5, well, I don't say that he is going to do, but here's what I do believe, and this is actually a statement from even Opal herself, that if Spike would have been appeared, well, if he's still alive in a G4, in a G5, um, here's the things. We know that now that dragons, um, well, Cody, I don't know why they're such against her mom to being in a love, but I mean, they might just be a little bit disturbed now that their mom has found someone. I mean, if she has been alone for so long time, it might be just disturbing the news that their mom have found someone else to be with. But it's hard to say for what exactly though. But here's about what I think about what happened. It's possible. It's possible that they missed their dad or something. But here's the thing about that. We have no idea where Sipple Pip's father is, if he's even still alive. There has never been mention of any of their father at all. Like, where is the king? Is he alive, or are they just divorced, or if they are divorced, if it's still alive, he still lives in Zephyr Heights, or if he left town entirely, or if he's dead or something. It's hard to say exact from what, since not has never been mentioned. But about Spike, there is actually was something I would say this. Before. back in the first chapter 1 and 2, did we no mention exactly how much time had passed between G4 and G5? But now there are more reference to exactly how much time had passed. In a web series, after that Sunny found the family blanket, that later also revealed they found a projector that had a message from her father, Argyle. And he explained that that part of the blanket is a part of an ancient artifact, which has been passed down in the family, in her family, for 10 generations. And as 10 generations in our world is equal to as 350 years. Another thing is, and when they went in the same web series episode, when they went to Separate Heights to find the second piece of the blanket, when when Queen Haven saw the first piece and she noticed that the had actually appeared showing the throne room of Separate Heights, she said her throne room hasn't been looked like that for centuries. She said the word centuries. So now it is later confirmed that it has been at least a few hundred years since by the time of G4 and G5. So, but since the 10 generations in our life, in our world, is about 350 years, give or take, so I would say that imply for as Queen Haven's statement for centuries. So I would say there has been at least a 300 years time between G4 and G5, even though they never exactly they gave a precise timeline. But the Hurt statement centuries. I mean, we all had to agree there had to been at least between 200 and 300 years or so. But I say at least 300 years. And as Opaline said in the last episode of Jeff Chapter 4, that now that Sparky has hatched from his egg, and now that she made a statement that dragons are so that might the rest of the dragons are might not soon might be awake. So is that an indication that the dragons simply has been asleep the whole time? It's possible that because hear me out. For if Spike would have been alive, he just simply had been asleep the whole time, and and because for example, we don't know if the dragons have any magical connection because when Discord and he is pretty much still alive even after one other few hundred years, and he had no magic either. So it turned out that his magic, despite having chaos power magically of fatal chaos, is connected to the pony magic. So when their magic vanished, his magic did. And what about the dragons? Even though the dragons aren't able to perform any magical spells on themselves, except for Sparky and Spike's magical breathing fire, but could that be an indication that they are connected to the magic, even though not perhaps not even not being aware of it otherwise? When the magic vanished, could that something could have been affected? The dragons just went to a hibernation, and with the magic have been gone for so long, could that have meant that they had been asleep? Um, well, who knows though? If the main six or five, if Misty doesn't count, go to Dragonlance, that they're really cool. If Amber was the new leader and the dragons wouldn't. Yeah. But here's the other thing about that, though, Cody. Before this, we had no idea how long the dragons even lived. We didn't even know if they had a long lifespan. I mean, we really haven't. You know, we have no idea how long the dragons lived there. If for a few hundred years, or if it's just only 1,000 years or no. But let's say, let's say if the dragons were to be living for a few hundred years or maybe 1,000 years, and if the dragons were in a hibernation sleep, what if that actually slowed down their aging process entirely or slowed it down enough significantly? Is therefore and since this, we don't even know exactly how if the dragons age in the same aging rate as the ponies do, or if the dragons age half of the speed of as the ponies are. I mean, for example, if since Rarity was in her late 40s and early 50s in the last episode of G4, and Spike appeared to be at least appeared to as um, early to mid 20s. So we don't know if the dragons age slower, at least compared to the pony. Oh, Christopher's here apparently.
Hey guys,
What's up?
I
Yes.
feel sad.
Why?
I kind of feel down today in the dumps.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's Cody the Dragon. Hi, Cody. What's up? So, what happened was my brother's in the hospital and he's getting surgery. And
Ooh.
also, he's coming back though. But the real sad news is, I just don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we're all human beings. Yeah, I don't know what to do anymore. I know how to, I want to tell my godmother how much I love her and everything, but thing is, I just don't know how to explain it. And also, I want to tell everybody who I've hurt and who I've burnt bridges with that I apologize. Yeah, I want to tell everybody who I burnt bridges with I'm sorry because what I did was kind of messed up, and I think they're still holding grudges against me, man. Hi, game guy.
Greetings. And the
Man,
mic's not working. Cool.
I,
Awesome. I
I,
love technology. It's
I
great.
feel I feel
We can.
horrible.
Yeah, I cannot even imagine it.
I feel horrible.
Hello. Hello. And now my mic isn't working. Awesome.
I feel
Dude,
so
we can.
horrible.
Game guy, I can hear you.
Yeah, Swedish. Um, I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't, you know. And the thing is, you're a cool guy, man. You're a very nice person. Like I figured if I maybe ask you guys for some advice, maybe it'll help me. It'll help cheer me up, you know.
Well, retro.
Yeah.
Um, not too long ago, actually, it's like what, a couple months ago or whatever. I forget how long ago it was, but anyway, um, a while back, our dad, me and Roy's dad, and Dylan's, our dad, had to go do surgery too.
Yeah, my brother right now is in the hospital. I don't know when he's coming back. I
I
think,
mean,
and the thing is, I didn't even know he was in pain. That's the thing.
maybe he's got like a thick skin, like kind of like I
No,
do,
he
but
was in
that's
pain.
the point.
I mean,
He was.
but it's possible that your brother may. I mean, it's possible that he never. It might be possible that he was suffering from pain, but he didn't tell anyone because that he didn't want to make everyone worry about it. But
Yeah,
Also
Swedish,
possible.
you're
but
such a good person.
and
God bless. God bless you,
yeah,
Swedish.
as the time went on, as it if he doesn't want to have think the pain will only fade away with time, but if it's getting worse and worse, he may have to been telling someone about it, and
What's up?
It's I cannot even imagine that it's like though. But I mean, some people can be well, how to say, can be a little bit, you know, some people can be really not disturbing, but very stubborn.
Yeah, I just I I don't know who to turn to, you guys. I don't, because I tried talking to one of my friends and he ended up blocking me on Discord. So because he's the best advice giver out of all of them. Guess he still holds a grudge against me after what I did, and I don't blame him.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I oh man. I just want to tell all the people that I just want to say, my friend just messaged me on YouTube. He said, yeah, I left him a positive message on his channel. So, back to what I was saying. I know who to turn to. I tried talking to my mom, my mom about it. I tried talking to my dad. I tried talking to everybody who I know, but still nothing. Like Swedish, game guy.
Hmm?
You guys are the only friends I have. I have nobody else.
Well,
Well, Dark Wolfie, he's still there for me, and my friend Silent, they're still there.
well, let me just give you some advice from a guy that's definitely a little too tired to give it, but I'm gonna try to give it anyway.
Yeah,
Maybe what you have to try to do is not come across as what's the word I'm
yeah,
looking
and
for
and I and
as
the thing is, I left him alone for a long time. And he left me alone for a long time.
the word I'm gonna use is targeted because retro, I like you, but it
Yeah,
feels like your videos sometimes you just point out
yeah, I go
that someone's
overboard.
done this, done that without actually giving like I like
Proof.
information about it.
I know it's like proof. I know. But
But
this time I made a video about my 3DS collection, my downloaded 3DS collection, and people actually liked my video about my 3DS collection, and I even told my audience I'm going to download more because I love the 3DS.
then maybe that's what you should be focusing on.
Yeah, you're right. No more drama. I'm just done with that crap, And also, I want to tell my friend, that he's a really good person for calling me out in the past for the things I've done. Um, Coded Dragon says, RGS, always pray and have faith and hope, and he says that I have to get going. See you next time. And RGS, yeah, I'm gonna pray to God. I'm gonna take Cole's advice and just pray to God because I really, I feel really down in the dumps. Man, a lot of people, they kind of, they come and
Growing.
went, and I want to tell them how I feel.
And
Yeah, I
yeah, and
mean,
Malakite's here.
Yeah. I'm gonna pray to God tonight. I'm praying to God. That's enough. I'm gonna pray. Have a Beyblade tournament today. Wish me fun luck. Oh yeah, I definitely I have a Beyblade tournament if I collect more Beyblades. That is. But guys,
yeah,
I'm gonna
Yep.
take Cody's advice. And I'm gonna pray to God. That's all I gotta do.
yeah. I
It was
mean,
a nightmare that I had in
the way
life.
I see it, drama is just a double-edged sword.
Yeah, this is
You can
double-edged
cut you
sword.
can cut someone
I
with it, but it
agree.
can
For
cut you
once, I
right
agree
back
with
if
you,
he
game
wants to.
guy. Yeah, and I don't get me
Yeah,
wrong. I like the conundrum. I like my friend the conundrum, but I do like him, and I wish I can get to know him a little more because I think the conundrum's actually a good person. I think my friend, my good friend, the conundrum, he's a good person. I think that a lot of people are good to me. Even hell, Black Phantom's a good person to me. Like he once told me to pray to God, the same way Cody did. Black Phantom told me to pray to God, and that's what I'm gonna do tonight. So
Yeah, but still,
you
the
guys
more
are
you,
you guys are the best. I don't know what to say, but you guys are good.
it's no problem. But remember this: if you dig into drama, you're just gonna dig yourself a hole that's gonna get harder and harder for you to jump out of until you
Yeah, I'm
dig
not
too
doing
deep.
that no more. I promise you that. That's enough. Enough is enough. I gotta get going, but you guys have a good time. Thank you, Swedish. Thank you, Game Guy, and thank you, Waterfall Mist.
Even though he didn't
Like
say anything, but
I
okay.
thought, I thought if I just talk to you guys, it will help, and it helped. So, and thank you, Cody the Dragon, for telling me to pray. Thank you. And by the way, I do believe that there is a God.
What's so?
Let me get going. Have a good night.
Alright,
Have a good time.
alright, see you,
you
Retro.
too.
Well, that happened.
Yep, pretty much. Sometimes you never know what things happens. Anyways, Mr. Waterfall Mist, aka Malachite, aka the guy with many OCs. How you doing?
Good. And well, go ahead and leave without me even saying hello or have a good day to you too. I find that a little bit rude.
He's going through something right now. Maybe don't say that.
Yeah, basically his brother is in the hospital.
Mm.
That what he was talking about.
Oh, Swedish.
Hmm?
Give me those right now.
You in your dreams.
I'm
Uh,
sorry, Malachite. I like you, but I don't want to see you in my dreams. I'm sorry.
marshmallow fudge cookies. Never heard of
That
them before.
sound they sound awesome though.
They they are stuffed with marshmallows, Swedish.
So they're basically
Huh?
s'mores without the graham
Yeah,
cracker.
I mean I never even had s'mores before. But marshmallows, uh, yeah, good. But honestly, if I would eat them as them there are, as there itself, well, I can only eat like what, maybe four total. If I eat more than that, let's say I would not feeling well. I feel like really crappy, like really sick. It's just that too much sugar. I mean,
Good.
eating with too much sugar, and then it's like having a sugar rush, and then when I have a sugar rush, yeah, I can't eat too much sweets. I can't even eat too much cookies or even I don't know buns or any sweets. I mean, if I eat too much sugar, yeah, let's say I feel eventually would feel so tired, and if I have just if I am eating too much, I can even eat perhaps just I don't know maybe just two chocolate muffins at most. And that is just that. I can't even eat too much that either before start feeling a little bit not well enough.
Hmm.
You must be having some upset stomach problems.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, even after I can, well, it happens only if I eat too much sweets. Like if I had too much cookies or muffins. Okay, if I had two muffins, two or three cookies, and or if I had just one big cinnamon bun, um, one muffin, I'll tell you that combination might just not, or even two or three chocolate muffins. That's that's probably the limit as much I can eat, or as I can much at least tolerate. I mean, the reason is why I can even eat too much is after my stomach operation. I had surgery for almost 10 years now. 10 years ago. That's the reason. Since before then, I had no problem to eat as much sweets at all. But ever since then, I really had a little bit hard to eat too much. I can feel like if I'm sick of eating too much sweets like chocolate or any cupcakes or anything like that. It just too much of that. It makes me feel sick. But luckily, though, I had one way to ease that's not the feeling, but drinking water. And the feeling doesn't last long though. Perhaps just a few minutes at most. Maybe it's 10 or 15 minutes. But I can tell this: if I would have been eating some things uh, and even chew it well enough and with still pieces, that is the more absolute worst feeling. I can tell you this: it happened shortly after I was allowed to eat normal food again after my surgery. I just took one bite of a burger that my mom bought me from at that time, and I was told I had been chewing really carefully, but I was so hungry, I forgot about it. I took maybe just one bite and swallowed, and I should maybe just two or three times and swallow. But after that, I could barely breathe. I was cold sweat. I was My heart was racing faster than normal. It's like it felt like if I had been running a marathon or something. It it really scared me if I was gonna have a heart attack or something. But you learned from my mistake from that point on. Always be careful and make sure that I don't eat that again. It's it really scared me, and I was sitting in an armchair. My hand was almost if I had claws, my claws would have been deep into the armchair's arms. One of the worst feelings I had. But luckily though, it had only happened once. Never again.
For that at least. No. Oh jeez, man.
So, Mr. Malachite, or what do you call yourself now these days? How are you doing?
Good. Went on did a bit of grocery shopping.
Hmm. I did tell my mom about your dog. She said that there is no mix of a dog breed between a Jack Russell and a boxer, because considering the boxers are really tall compared to Jack Russell and short ones. But I told her that depends on in which order how it actually happened. And I told her I did see a dog once in a and this big as a boxer. Man, but then as you said that though that dog mix is not isn't on been any official recognized of any kennel records. But to be fair, there are a lot of mixed breeds out there these days, but different from I mean, it can be a mix of German Shepherd, a Labrador, or Golden Retriever mix, and that doesn't even may not even considered as official breed. In fact, there are so many different mix of. I mean, what about cats? There are many different breeds of cats out there, half breeds, pure bloods, and I mean there are many. I mean, even the most normal house cats, like okay, there are those rag dolls. You have Russian blue. You have Persian. You have the naked furless naked cat. It's so they might have been officially recognized as one breed, but what about the normal cats? Like other normal house cats, that's half of a mix of different cats. I mean, what if, like, say, if Gengar had a cat as it has 3 or 4 mix in it? If are different generations of the mix of all that, would that have been recognized as an official species? No, it wouldn't. They would just been considered as just a normal house cat. We have 2 cats in my family. One is black white, and that's considering a mixed breed, which is not recognized as an official. That one is a half, also another mix, but mostly Russian blue. And in fact, it is more showing as a signs of the features as a Russian blue. But would that still count as a normal officially? I don't know. It's I mean, like I said, when it comes to dog breeds, there are other normal pets breeds like cats or dog. There are so many, and not all of them are not even recognized as by any official records. As, I mean, if there would been, I don't know. But as my mom said, like, how did in the world did even a boxer end up having a mix with a Jack Russell, considering how tall they are, the heights? Well, I may actually have one solution to that. I mean, I know that certain that they may have put and let's say if they put the Jack Russell on something on a like a pedestal or something like the lift it up in some height or something. I mean, certain people do that for when it comes to like horses, for example, or cows or different like that. So I wouldn't say not unlikely though, but it's just something. Silence, as always. Hmm.
Let's see here.
Huh. I wonder if there's gonna be any smash it pass since afterwards, since as we know, Malachi is not much not interested in that type of things.
Oh, that reminds me. I promised Crystal I'd call her at 8, so I've got a bit of a deadline over here.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna end the stream at that time anyways. About
I
that,
know you're probably gonna end it before then, but figured I'd
yeah.
throw it out there.
Malachi, since the video that is the game stream last night, yesterday, since that was supposed to be about the video games, since the next one will be your life third, but it's not gonna be about video games.
Oh, I
Yeah,
was going to
I wanted to
talk to you
talk to
about
you
that
about.
too.
I wanted to talk to you about that, and I told a game guy about this. I don't mind, waiting for to do the video game quiz some other time, but I was wondering. if instead for this U.S. history one, instead of you letting the winning team pick the next subject, I was thinking you could either give them the choice of prize for either choosing a true love or true friend story, or letting them host the next game show after the video games quiz.
Yeah, that might work.
I mean, we already did promise to do the video game quiz, but I would prefer it be the one after the U.S. history one because I'll
Yeah,
be
I mean,
okay by then.
yeah, I mean, I was originally planning to do the a game show stream next uh, July 4th, but since Game Guy told me that he is unlikely that he will be able to join in since his family have their, I mean, it is actually about the Independence Day, so yeah, it makes sense. So I decided to do that
Oh,
the day before.
hmm. Um, Srish, do you have any favorite flavors of ice cream?
Flavors of ice cream. Hmm,
What brought this
easy.
question up?
Vanilla, chocolate.
They even have I know they have mint chocolate chip, and that's a good flavor.
How about gingerbread cookie flavor?
I wouldn't be surprised if they even did snickerdoodle ice cream.
Well, they actually kind of did a sandwich ice cream with
Snicker.
gingerbread cookies flavor here in Sweden, but
I
there's
know.
only,
I know
but
they
there's
have
only,
birthday. I know they have birthday cake flavor.
not here though.
What?
Nope.
What
God
a
damn
reaction to
them!
the Malachite.
The only flavors that we have of sandwich, I don't know if you even have it over there, but is basically is there's like I believe it's the normal one is with vanilla ice cream with uh the two pieces that's on top of it. It's light brown type of. I believe it's like if it was like a chocolate flavor. But we had that one is three flavors here. One that is normal, and one that's actually had pear flavor instead for vanilla, and the third, which was the gingerbread cookies flavor, but that was only sold during the Christmas time or around the Christmas season.
Sriish, we have ice cream cookie sandwiches here that have M&Ms in the cookies.
Huh. Wow.
And we also have ice cream sandwiches with the cookies looking just like Oreo cookies, except in the center it's not the filling, it's vanilla ice cream. But the
Hmm.
two cookies look just like Oreo cookies.
That kind of reminds me. There were actually one ice cream that I hadn't even seen since wow, since 1990. That was actually a Star Wars ice cream, shape of a battle store, a battle droid with a pear flavor. It was actually was part of since the Phantom Menace, the first episode one, that was released in
Wow.
1990. So
Hey,
it was
hey,
shaped
Trish.
after that. Yep.
You say it's you say it's pear flavored.
Yeah. Pear
Well, that
flavor.
well it makes sense. Phantom Menace and Star Wars was a bad pairing. So there you go.
Dude.
Bad puns.
Wow.
I know. My joke stuck. Just like everything
But
else about me. Don't worry, I know.
yeah, but still, I mean, it was also another ice cream that's it also was made of pear flavor, but instead for just simple, it's how to describe it, but it's um it's like almost like a box, but instead for just one solid piece, but this was more like small piece size, like small balls, tiny balls in flavor of pear. as part of it, but that one was later eventually removed by some point. And in fact, the biggest ice cream in my country was literally named King Kong or Kong, but no longer. It's yeah. My mom did buy that ice cream once after to my brother after he was in after dentist, and since he actually behaved well enough and that no problem. Let's say though, halfway through eating the ice cream, he was full, and I did my dad used one time actually did bought ice cream. Um, phew, um, the ice cream was, boy. I believed, at least I think it's this ice cream box was about maybe 13 or 15 inches long and a weight of about 22 pounds. And the ice cream was not even regular like vanilla, pear, chocolate. This was actually like rainbow colored ice cream and had actual candy pieces in it.
The
And
only
when I
rainbow,
told this,
the, the only rainbow colored ice cream I know of is Scooper Man.
well, I don't know if that is the type of brand that is the same brand or if it's something different. But when I told this to Fi Goddess, she was like, "God damn!" I mean, but then I hadn't even seen that type of ice cream. I mean, I well since wow, I think that I hadn't even seen that one in almost 19 years, around the same age as the same age as Game Guy is. I think it's around the early 2000s. Last time I saw it. Um, my Fi Goddess actually did saw this uh brand, a Swedish brand of gingerbread cookies that's been sold in the US. Uh, I believe it's what's it called? Anna's gingerbread cookies. That type of cookies has actually been sold here all year round, not only for Christmas. And now recently, about only about 1 or 2 years ago, they actually made that as an ice cream. Same company, but now it is a different brand of with some ice cream, but only sold right around Christmas season. And I've like, okay, that's new. Um, okay, how would you felt if they decide to make ice cream that's had flavors of, let's say, cucumber?
Well,
Hmm.
You get my answer right there.
Malachi is not that
How
good.
about how about meatball ice cream
Have you lost your cuckoo? Mind.
or lasagna flavored ice cream?
What?
I don't know. I mean, not saying as if.
How do
I
you
mean,
not know you said it?
Don't use my words against him, Potter.
think about it. If there have been made ice cream flavors of many different flavors over the years and over the centuries, I mean, okay, I know that like lasagna and meatball flavor ice cream, not it was not it's gonna be in any popularity, but when involved cucumber for only for a short time in Europe, Pepsi actually had cucumber as a flavor on it, but it was not sold in my country. It is as far as I know. But then, what about like cherry flavored ice cream? Okay, that works. I mean, cherry is very popular to like candy, sweets, but basically anything.
Uh, Game guy, have you ever tried any flavor of Ben and Jerry's ice cream?
What the fuck's a Ben and Jerry?
That's an ice cream company here in the U.S.
All right.
Yeah. Ben and
Well,
Jerry's.
you don't my answer then.
Mm, have they an ice cream that's cookie dough flavor?
Yes, there is. There is actually a cookie dough flavor.
And for what I know, they actually had like a it kind of reminds me of like a sandwich, like your one like a let's say bread, ice cream, bread on top, like that. But the cookie dough flavor, and it actually is that Ben and Jerry ice cream. It's not even big, not even there's not even a stick to it. Um it's like a round puck shape ice cream, but a very small one. I did try one at least once. It was okay though, but it was a little bit expensive. I mean, it would have been compared to what the time would have been for you guys. It would have been maybe $3.50, give or take, maybe $3 for an ice cream.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean that ice cream at Ben Jerry's. Yeah, I mean it's not impossible that I would try to eat again though. Oh,
I know what flavor of ice cream astronomers would eat now and then, or let astronauts eat in space. They have Blue Moon ice cream.
hmm.
It tastes just like vanilla ice cream, only it's a nice blue color.
How about this though?
How
I mean,
fitting.
okay, what if there was an ice cream, a flavor with perhaps uh, vanilla and mint, but has Yeti as a figure on an ice cream? I mean, not on the paper, the wrapper on it.
But to
Wait, what
vanilla.
flavor?
No, I mean as a vanilla with mint ice cream. It is mostly is white, but has and its paper wrapped around it may had a Yeti or the snowman on it.
He'd be more like a melon man. His
Hmm,
melons are green, and mostly mint is green. So,
true. Do you guys eat melon flavored ice cream?
well, when I say melon, I mean like watermelon.
Yeah, watermelon or honey melon.
Yeah, I've never had honey melon. I heard it's good though. I heard it from
Yeah,
Take
well,
a Wild Guess.
uh, well, it doesn't. The flavor isn't like the watermelon because watermelon is more how to say it's the constant texture in that melon and honey melon is a little bit different. I mean, watermelon is almost easy. You don't have to be. It's very soft, but honey melon is a little bit more texture to as how it's made. But it's perfect for to ice cream for most things, like vanilla. In fact, my dad recently made some ice cream, vanilla ice cream. It was a little too hard to even to just using a scope, one of those ice cream scope to it. So he literally took a knife and a meat axe to bang on the lots of pieces of
A
it.
meat axe.
Yeah, literally a meat axe. I'm not kidding, dude. He literally do that.
You know what? You know what? My mom made a mistake one time. We were making this was around 2019, right before COVID hit. I was making some graham cracker fudge around Christmas, and the recipe said to use one package of graham crackers added to the fudge. My mother did not remember that part and added two full big packages of graham crackers to the fudge, and it was sort of you had to nibble the son of the pieces just to eat the whole thing. Of each
Hmm.
little piece. She had two whole graham crackers, crunching them up, breaking them into pieces, and it just stuffed like when we were turning. It was like turning a very slow stuck mixing drum
Wow.
because of how tightly the pieces of graham cracker were getting there. Like she made the chocolate first, then we like added a few little mini marshmallows to it, and then we added the graham crackers. But it was the way the because of her adding both packages of like what is like 50 packs of graham crackers. Like she added 100 graham crackers to this to this
Hmm.
bowl, all broke up, and it turned out solid. Like you need a hammer just to break it down into little pieces and just nibble the son of a bitch when you
Wow.
eat it.
Question. Would you guys ever eat chocolate ice cream with mini marshmallows in it?
They have Rocky Road.
Hmm. We have something that's similar to here though, but it's roughly translated
No,
to
Malachi, why would
heavily.
you eat an ice cream with rocks?
Oh, Swedish. Remember that mint, that vanilla mint flavor with you said a Yeti on the picture? Look where I said private chat.
Winter mint yeti. Yeah, that works.
Like you're saying
Um,
fun, only it's mint Yeti.
hmm. Yeah, that works. You know,
We we even have ice cream flavors based on little Debbie treats. From the oatmeal
hmm.
cream pie to fudge round to star crunch, even Swiss rolls.
I don't think I had ever tried those type of flavors. But to be fair,
Dude,
to be,
next when you come here to the U.S., you need to try some good flavors.
I might. I mean, there we even have a one ice cream here which has the name Sitting Bull, reference to the Indian, which has an Indian on it.
Really? Never heard of it.
Yep. Well, I probably it's probably I believe it's probably like just in my country where this exists. We even had one ice cream that's called Hockey Puck, which is a little shape as a puck, and is even the black color as well. And of course, we had many ice creams in my country over the years, but most of them has just been removed from the market even before I was born, and even some that's was even after I was born, and that's just that happens. But there is actually one ice cream that really much enjoy, which is chocolate ice cream with pieces of mini uh, m- marshmallows, and that ice cream is roughly translated to heavenly mess.
Oh
It's actually
God.
good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so tired.
it's actually not that bad in flavor, but considering how many ice creams that there is out there, um, in fact, there is actually one an ice cream that's called a dime. Like not the same as the coin that you guys have. It's spelled DAIM dime. Uh, and it's also even a chocolate bar as well. And now there is even Mars bar. There's Snickers bars and ice cream. Even though I prefer not Snickers because a piece of peanuts. I'm not a big fan of peanuts myself, but I prefer to even Mars bars. They're much better, honestly.
But Peanuts is such a good cartoon, though.
Uh,
Not that type of peanuts.
My point still stands.
well, at least one of them want to have Malachite's peanuts.
I will kick your ass.
Oh my god, it's so fair.
But still, though, I mean, I prefer Mars bars than as I mean, they're good. I mean,
And
I
that's
know,
one for the aliens, Kovu
I mean,
included.
I don't. Yeah, but I'm not saying that I don't like Snickers. It's just there can be a little bit sometimes they'll be a little bit overrated in the flavors, but then of course it costs almost anything. Like any candy, any ice cream has always some positive, or there are always some critics to any like that. I mean, it's like almost like to like movies or games. The same thing. There's always some positives, some other some critics in that also. So you know, I want to be in the super. If there was like Star Wars, oh about that. Since when the Star Wars came out in the 70s, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually even made some ice cream with the shape of um, a stormtrooper or even Jabba the Hutt. Or how about they actually? What if okay, hear me out. What if they decided to make Jeff Jeff Dunham's characters as ice cream, and each one has its own individual flavor? Maybe Walter Sherry because he's so bitter, and uh, Peanut as perhaps Apple because he's very up for it, and uh,
You could actually where they did a purple and green swirled brownie chunk like a galaxy swirl for and just called Peanuts Star Crunch.
huh. And how about Ahmed the Dead Terrace as salt licorice
You,
flavor?
you might you might you might think I'm crazy, but imagine seeing Ahmed's face on a picture of a picture on a carton of Blue Moon ice cream. Because you remember from the Christmas special speech, he goes, "Rip! Oh, there's a blue moon."
Yeah, I remember that.
Even though I know he was
Oh,
talking about even though I know he was talking about Lucky Charms.
oh, you know this the things that you can have on the front dashboard of the car like Hawaiian girl that dance where the car moves. What if they did made something like with Ahmed the Dead Terrorist as one, or Peanut? I wouldn't say that that's not a bad idea considering how big the popularity of those characters are. But there's only my one problem with one of those characters. I'll say on
Oh,
the stick on the jalapeno on a stick because it won't be like a stick and his characters. And then only the head will be moving, not stick.
and
Personally, I
not a,
think
and not a pickle on a pencil.
you know
Remember
of
that
the
part?
of us three here, all those characters, I would say see myself as what was the guy that drinks a lot, like drinks beers? Is it a
I was about to say, Spears. Could you imagine if they had a chocolate root beer flavor
hmm?
and and call and call Bubba J's Beerlet,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
beer in the last few letters of the word chocolate.
Oh, especially his reaction when Jeff told him that South Africa has the world's largest brewery.
My dearest wife, for reasons you understand, I am never coming home.
or even or when they were when Ahmed were in Scotland for a reaction to us when he was told that Scotland is the murder capital of Europe.
I had nothing to do with this shit.
Or when Walter
Also,
was,
also,
or
also a Swedish. I, I was like, I facepalmed myself and I said, "Oh hell no, he did." When they were in Norway in he goes, "Did you know?" Just as to Peanut, did you know that Norway sends Sweden its garbage to use in its recycling program? I found that a very good, interesting, fact because I did not know that. But then Peanut goes, a lot of countries donate other pe- people's garbage. Canada gave us Justin Bieber, and I was like, "Oh fuck, no, you did not."
or when it
When
was
they're right, they're
when
right.
Walter. I mean, what about the one that Walter with Jeff for Iceland when he mentioned that the life expectancy of women on Iceland is between 90 and 100 years old.
Send my wife home immediately.
Or when they
We're
were in
more in our country, the United States. We should have called our country crazy assholes with guns. He ain't
or
wrong.
or when even when they were in Brazil, Australia. Oh boy, that was one thing. That's um.
My
Ooh,
my favorite part of around the map was both with Peanut the Red Cape in Saudi Arabia, um and and also Walter visiting an Iceland volcano. He goes, my wife kept saying the same thing over and over. What? Stop trying to push me in.
oh boy. There's only one that actually reminds me of the most of the funniest part of all the map is when Jeff Dunham used Ahmed in Malaysia. Well, he wasn't technically wasn't allowed to use him by the word his name and all that since it was actually against the religion apparently. So he named him Shak
Even though
Mer
it was stupid
Mer.
because they did not let him know ahead of time, and then they were opening the show with Ahmed on the poster. So it's like
Yeah,
bullshit. If you didn't want him to use him, why didn't you call him before he went over there? You fucking
yeah,
dumbasses.
yeah. I mean, even though that when Ahmed was the name Shock Mer,
I am
or
I am Jack shit.
uh, or one especially when the Ahmed when they were in London in England uh, when he mentioned that this the puppets when he referred to the Parliament
I
when
also
he said
love Walter's. I also love Walter's reaction. I was wondering some girl when he was talking to some when some uh, English gentleman walks in and goes, "Oh, good afternoon, sir." And he goes, I'm looking around like, "Who the fuck is making you talk? What the hell?" You, you, I
ah
mean,
man
we all had some of our favorite. You and I have had some of our favorite moments of Jeff Dunham. I mean, the Christmas special, that was the funniest one. When he goes, "What?" When P.S. says, "Let's all hold hands and see." Uh, Jeff says, "Okay, P.S. Right now we're going to do something a little different." He goes, "Oh, you're gonna be funny." It's a Christmas miracle. Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. That was funny.
yeah pretty much I mean it
And
was
also with Walter when Jeff says goes just pretend. What? Fake it. Does your wife do that too? I'm like, oh hell no.
have you seen when Jeff and his family were actually in Family Feud?
Then why am I talking to him like he's real and such? I feel the same way when talking to you, Steve. It's like you're actually there.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. He should have brought Peanut out. And that way he could offer him his green hair and goes, "Would you like to buy this?" Yeah, I saw
So,
that blooper where Peanut lost his hair. He goes, "No, I look like that guy." Gets back on stage, picks up the hair. He goes, "Would you like to buy this?"
sometimes I wonder if you. I mean, sometimes I wonder if either you or Game Gary is either peanut.
Game guy, game guy could learn peanut foo.
Yeah, you're Walter.
Shut the hell up.
You're really cranky.
That's that's because I took a shower on Monday. Saturday comes along and I'm still not fucking dry. I
No
take a
comment.
shower on Monday, Friday, still not dry. I swear I grew moss on my ass. I looked at my wife and I said, "I'm turning into a fucking tree. Trim my ass."
Malachite, this is not an episode of who can recreate that obscure line from a stupid show nobody gives a shit about. Please stop. Uh, I meanwhile have no clue what the hell you two are even talking about at all. Just here listening to you both just be like, talking about whatever the hell you're talking about. It's getting a little old.
Jeff Dunham, a ventriloquist comedian, world famous, might add you, and you should at least see some of his videos. He will make you almost wet yourself.
Malachite, I'm not a baby. I'm not going to wet myself. Thank you very much.
You probably would if you drink too much.
I'm sorry, I don't get drunk.
I mean, the closest I've ever come to possibly getting drunk was taking a little, having a small little cap full of peppermint schnapps.
Hmm.
It actually wasn't too bad. It was just a
But
little
almost
cup.
being drunk.
It was a little cap shot.
I would be surprised if Malachi was so drunk that he will try to eat roadkill.
Oh hell no!
Well, it's actually common in Alaska. And the reason why, especially when a big moose has been hit by a car or train or like that, but mostly by car, people call into that to the local wildlife rescue or something like that, and they take the moose and they cut it in pieces and give it to the people, like the elderly, sick ones first, and I mean, considering how much meat a moose has, it's better to be using it letting go to waste. When are you supposed to leave though? Uh, game guy.
8. That's when the call starts.
Hmm.
I said 8. That's when the call starts. I'm doing a call with Crystal.
What time is it for you though?
It's 5:08.
Ah, got it. Well, I might end the stream and eventually soon enough.
Now I've still got 3 hours to kill, so.
Well, they can always do this smash and patch afterwards or skip it another time if your brother wants to be part of it.
Roy's not even here. He's still at the gym.
Yeah, we can always skip
What's
it
he,
another time
what's he
since.
do? What does he do all day? Lie down on an exercise ball doing jumping jacks or lifting a barbell?
No comment.
My silence shall answer all your questions, Malachite.
No, not really, because then I can't hear you. Mm.
To be honest, I don't actually know what he does all day over in the gym. Definitely
I
not
mean,
that though.
is he fit, or is he fit, athletic enough he could possibly, take part doing the sports, or doing swimming quite a lot? Like some of those
I
swim
mean, he does like to
race
swim and
race
walk
and
around and shit.
events.
I don't know. He probably could have run like a marathon or something if he wanted to, but
Who knows? Yeah, I probably should end here. If I
Yeah,
would do Smash this pass, would you even join in on Malachite?
no.
Chicken.
what a killjoy.
All right.
I'm
Well,
kidding.
that's up to him if he wanted to. I mean, I'm not saying that he's up to him if he wanted to, though. We don't force him.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of let's do it on a time, maybe tomorrow or something. Well, everyone, it has been a while. Has been a fun stream. Having these two knuckleheads in
Okay.
here. Yeah, so see you next time. See ya.
And goodbye.
Bye.